My show, Assumed Permanence, is a collection of rusted steel objects that have all been found and collected at the location Clover Point here in Victoria. The kind of philosophy behind the show is the idea of basically creating disorienting or disrupting spaces that hopefully will provoke a dialogue between the viewer and the piece to sort of ask the viewer how they feel about furniture and this intimacy, this proximity that they would normally have towards this furniture, towards the ideas of family and the ideas of consumption and, I guess, kind of what's valuable and what's not. So many of the pieces in here have been separated and cut into 2/3 or 1/3, and all of the rust has been stripped from one part of the piece to kind of show and expose what's underneath all of the rust, because all of this collected material is garbage and it was found in the middle of the ocean, not in the middle of the ocean, but just off the point, and it's been sitting there for about 100 years. Some of it dates to pre-1900s. But it's garbage and no one wants it, and it's kind of like people are afraid of it. And I find that really interesting that, you know, it's perfectly good, but because it has this difficult layer of rust over it, it's not wanted. It's damaged goods, you know? So yeah.
One question about the show. I saw there that you have like a table and 3 chairs. Is that like a dining room? Are you saying?
So that piece is called Dining Room Set. It's kind of meant to talk about family and this idea, these safe notions of family, and how don't want to get like too kind of involved in the theoretical part of it, because my mind tends to wander with things, but it's kind of a commentary on the ideas of family and this kind of like the nuclear family, and how we have been taught to desire a very connected, very close relationship, but those are based in like Western society's ideals of desire and stuff like that. So it's kind of meant to talk about like the breakdown of family and how it's not as safe as everyone, or not as safe and secure and stable and permanent as everyone's led to believe it to be. Yet it's still such a strong part of kind of like the capitalist society that we're in. Yeah.
Another piece that was quite interesting for me is the large. It looks like a rocking chair, but can you talk a little bit about that one?
So that one is called Rocking Bench. That's some more pieces collected from the ocean, and I tried more incorporating newer, contrasting the old with the new, and kind of the idea of rebuilding a structure using found pieces and kind of giving that motion. So kind of a place that you can move forward from. Like, they don't have to be, these pieces don't have to be garbage. They can be restored and put into something that's so structurally sound that's still almost entirely built out of rusted steel that 2 people can sit in and rock in it. So it's supposed to kind of like, and with the way that the arms are positioned where they kind of come in, it kind of closes those 2 people in, or that one person in, and lifts their feet off the ground. So it's meant to kind of physically engage the viewer as well as provoke a dialogue with that old versus new, and safety and intimacy.
My last question is, for this show, or for this idea, why you chose metal and not another material like wood?
I prefer working with metal. I've worked with wood in the past, but I find metal to be a very interesting material in that it's predictable to me. And if I mess up a cut, I can always re-weld it. It's not going to completely jeopardize the structural integrity of the piece or the pieces that I'm working with. And it's also just so thrown away. Like there's just always so much, and if something gets rust, no one wants it. So it's so easy to collect it and recycle it. But I also think it's interesting because it's a lot more malleable than people are led to believe. Like the idea of like assumed permanence, like that it has to stay in the state that it's found or purchased in. But there are so many ways that you can manipulate it and change it however you want it to change.